Hello, everyone, and welcome out to episode 350 of the Good, the Bad, and the Geeky. 350. Good, nice, even number. And I'm surprised we've made it this far. I'm Nick Argenbright, and before we get to who I have with us today, let's give just a quick FYI to check out our show notes. You can find more information on how you can support us with Audible, audibletrial.com/goodbadgeeky. You can check out other stuff we do. Magic and Unauthorized Misadventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, and also Packrat Comics, who is a wonderful friend of our show. PackratComics.com. And we're also part of the It's All Been Done Presents Network, or IBDP. And speaking of the network, science fiction created whole worlds for us to dive into. Go deep into Star Trek with a panel of hosts starting from the very beginning. Learn about each episode and the Trekkie history, all while having fun with a brand new podcast called It's All Been Trekked Before. See what they did there with the title. Available on iTunes and Stitcher. It's all been done anyway, so check out www.ibdpresents.com. And today we're going to talk about Red Rue, the new web series, premieres September 18th. Look up on social media, Red Rue Series as the usernames. And we'll go around the table, starting with the impresario. Did I say it right? Sure?
Sure.
Yeah. It sounds cool, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I know you're talking about me because you pointed at me.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm Michelle Hanson.
Keep going. Okay. I'm sorry.
I'm Michelle Hanson. I'm the creator, director, and writer of Red Rue.
I'm Cat McAlpine. I played Justine in Red Rue.
We might hear that again later. I'm just throwing it out there. I'll probably just quiz you on it later.
Oh my god, did you come here from the future?
I possibly did.
I'm Laura Spires, and I play Katie.
I'm Anna Leeper, and I play Stella.
I'm Kristin Green. I'm the script supervisor.
And
I wrote the theme song.
But you you got a promotion.
I'm the production manager. Sure. Manager? Wow.
I just show up.
Mr. Manager. Miss Manager.
And then last but not least,
I'm Shane. I did the sound.
That's right, and we're going to talk about Red Rue. It's an exciting new series again. As I said, premieres September 18th on social media, and after that, it's every Monday and Wednesday with new episodes. And we're going to talk, hopefully, about all kinds of great stuff about the series. And I like to point out, as you could tell earlier, I've done 350 of these. You think I'd be better at it now. Well, as you will probably hear me mess up again later. So here's these wonderful people as we talk about Red Rue, and hopefully you will check it out on September 18th. Episode 350 of The Good, the Bad, and the Geeky. As you heard in the intro, we have the cast and crew of Red Rue here, which is a web series that premieres September 18th.
Yes.
Okay. And, I'll start with the creator and writer and director. Am I missing anything else? You're the executive producer.
Producer. I think I made a few sandwiches for people.
So cook.
Yeah.
On-site craft services.
Craft services.
And by the way, you just don't produce it. You're executive producer. That means you're the showrunner.
Oh, yeah.
That means you...
Showrunner?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, because this is a series, if this is a movie, you're a producer.
Okay.
And you're probably both. But this one, you're just like ex-producer. You run, you do everything. So...
You do everything.
I everything.
Well, that's not how I meant for that to come off. But, but could you tell us what... I mean, I know, but for everyone out there, what is Red Rue?
So, Red Rue is a supernatural web series that may or may not be on the CW. It is not.
But it's awesome, though. I know she's referencing pictures, and they look like they belong on the CW. But it's amazing. I mean, they're really cool promo pictures. If you go to the Facebook's page,
Red Rue Series at Facebook.
Yep, you can see the amazing promo work. It's awesome. It's amazing.
Yeah, the graphic designer, who I am not, did a really great job.
No, yes, they did. They did. And you guys did a good job being in it, too. So good job. And you have a weird hair... I'm talking to Anna now. You have a weird hair thing where your hair's blowing in some of the pictures.
Oh, that's right. During the photo shoot, for some reason, my hair caught the wind in damn near every photo we took. And I'm not complaining about it.
Was there wind? Was there a fan?
There was a fan. There was a fan.
Okay.
But I don't know why I got it.
Incredible.
But
There was no
like,
fan.
Colleen is
for
not
you.
here, who plays Rue, right?
Yes.
And then Laura and Kat, like, and even Kyle, their hair just looks like, it looks great, but it just looks like it's down. There's no wind fan blowing.
I have heavy hair. What do you want me to say?
But
And then we get to Anna, who I think channeled Beyonce during our photo shoot, and that's why her hair is just so luscious and lovely. No comment? Okay.
Wait, don't sing more than 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah,
Then
that's
you have to
right.
pay for it.
In the old GBG, you could do F whatever you wanted, including say I have these little
Everything's a thing.
tie bands. I use them for chord management.
Tie bands. They're
And-
called twist ties.
Twist ties.
They're
but
trying to be
tie
fancy,
bands.
like they're something special, but they're definitely twist ties.
They are special. They keep my chords manageable for the microphones we're using. Anyway, sorry. Do you have anything else you wanted to say in regards to the... because I cut you off.
Oh, no,
I'm
it's
sorry.
fine. I guess we should talk about Red Rue.
Yes.
Maybe?
Yes.
Okay.
No, yeah.
Unless you
I mean,
you don't want
I
to,
would
that's
love
fine.
for Kat to go on a soliloquy or monologue about twisty ties, but...
I have done nothing wrong, and I feel really attacked right now, and I just want to hear about Red Rue.
Yes, okay.
Keep it on point. Thank you, Kat.
Kat, do you want to read what Red Rue is about?
Sure.
Because
Let's make it about
you did
me.
a really great job.
Kat does a great job at
Don't
everything.
read past here because those are my notes for editing.
Oh, it's not an important
These are
document.
the notes of all the times we screwed up our lives.
Like when I left props in the wrong room? Okay. This is a summary of the web series Red Rue.
Mm-hmm.
Rue died more than 100 years ago on the night of a rare red moon, and generations of evil hunters have been chasing her ghost ever since. The hunters need her spirit in order to unlock the gates of hell, so it's up to her human friends Katie, Hardy, Justine, and Stella to find a way to save Rue before all hell breaks loose. Literally. But the farther Rue's friends go to try to save her, the more Katie realizes she has feelings for Rue. Bum, bum, bum.
And, I mean, I think this was in one of the promo pictures. One of the girls is related to the hunters.
Me.
No, it is not
No,
you.
it's
It's not you. It's not you.
No,
No, it's the
related
hunters.
to the
I wasn't
hunters.
listening.
Way to pay attention in an audio format, dear. No, you're fine.
Can this be about me, please? Sorry, can you
So
try again?
the-
I'm playing the part of Laura today.
Oh, what?
Oh,
So you're the worst today.
I was about ready to say. So, yeah, you might, if we say this again, that is a running joke with this group that Laura is the worst because she is the worst.
Good reason for it.
Yeah. It's now out into the world. But no, one of the girls is related to one of the hunters. Yeah.
Yes.
And that adds some complications, I'm sure,
it
to
does.
the mix.
It does.
But okay, and also they're not here. Who are the hunters?
The hunters are played by Stephen Woosley and Andy Woodmansey. And their characters are Christopher and Rob. And they are the two villains in the story who need Rue's spirit in order to control the gates of hell. And without her spirit, they will be just as vulnerable to the demons in hell that are unleashed.
Okay.
And so, yeah, they won't be able to rule all.
Okay, so why do they want to open the gates of hell? Because I figured that would be a bad thing.
Why wouldn't you want to open the gates of hell?
Well, is it they want to control the power that hell? Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
so
then
basically
that- Gotcha.
they would be gods, and all the demons would be their little minions and do their bidding.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's been passed down, if I also remember too, it's been passed down from generation to generation to generation of hunters. Are these just two of many hunters that are left? Or are these like the last big two?
In this season, they are the only two hunters. It's probable that there are more, just not in the general vicinity of where the story takes place.
We'll just have to find out by watching. Okay.
By watching,
Okay,
yes.
yeah, okay. And then, so, Kat, you obviously play one of the girls. Which girl are you? And the
I play
Now this is
Justine.
about you. Thank you, Justine. And
The most expendable one.
sick burn.
kidding.
If you could see her face, she is doing a wonderful job acting right
We
now.
would be able to make all of our camera angles like 6 inches lower if you were in it.
Oh, that's so.
Laura.
That's
That's why Laura's
mean.
the worst.
This is what.
What about
It's tough being-
Andy?
It's tough. It's tough being
that's
tall,
true.
people. She is a tall person like myself, and you know what? The struggle is real.
I've
struggle
never
is real.
I've never come out and told anyone this before, but I am a tall person. I am, and I'm proud.
Thank you.
Tall and proud.
Totally
No.
proud.
Kat doesn't know that I show my love by bashing people and making them feel really bad about themselves. So
You must just be starting to like me then.
yeah, it's true. Yeah. When you're in one of my projects, then I start to like you.
What
Yeah.
she's saying is you have to give her something first.
Basically,
and then
yeah.
she'll consider liking you.
Yeah.
Friendship, please.
And then Laura, who do you play?
I play Katie.
You play Katie, who is the one who is falling for Red. Yes.
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 Okay. Well, we already know you're falling for the person who plays Red in real life. We already know.
Rue.
We
Plays
yeah.
Rue.
Rue,
I like
Red.
calling-
I like calling her
Red's
Red.
kind of
Rue.
a sexy little
Well,
name.
Red.
We'll
So
just
does
start calling
anyone
her
keep
Red.
calling her Red? Does anyone say exactly Red Rue, or is it just Red Moon?
No,
Rue?
no, it's just
'Cause, I mean, I know
Rue
that's-
is her name, and
Red 'cause
she
the red
died
moon.
on the night of a red moon. So
I'm
that's
sorry
where
about
the
that. I
red
was like,
comes from.
it's a name. I'm just going to go with it. Red. I also forgot. My brain went on autopilot for a second because I was like, it's a name. Let's talk.
I'm pulling a cat.
I'm sorry. I was completely listening to you. Go on. No. All right. Anna, who do you play in relation to Rue?
God, you did it, Nick.
By the way, take a drink if I say it wrong again. There you go.
Okay, sounds good.
Drinking
That'll be
game.
our clue. No,
Yeah.
I play Stella. I am a translator that the girls hire from a local library
okay.
in order to help them decipher an ancient spell book that plays a pretty vital role in the series.
Okay, that's cool. That's awesome. Okay, all right, and then who does Kyle play?
Kyle plays Hardy, who is related to Christopher. They are our siblings.
They're the siblings.
yeah.
Okay, and do the girls know that really?
They know that Hardy has a brother named Christopher, but they don't know his involvement until later in the series.
Okay. And do the boys come in the first episode, or is it because? And also talk about the way you shot it too, because I think it's set up and shot in a certain way, right?
Mm-hmm. It is. So the audience is watching it through the point of view of a hacked webcam. So it's one stationary shot, and so we see it through the eyes of whoever has hacked into Justine's webcam, since it takes place in her house.
All right. Okay. And I don't need to know who, just yes or no, because I obviously would be a spoiler. I don't want to spoil it. Do we find out who is hacking it?
Yes.
Interesting.
We do.
May it be more than one person?
It may be more than one person.
Oh, tell me more. Because I was, that's awesome.
You will know absolutely by episode 9. There's confirmation of who hacked in the webcam, but by the 3rd episode, it's pretty much guessed. Like,
Okay.
this is who's doing it.
And how many episodes are there in the first season?
There are 17 according to the script.
The joys of editing.
However, the first 2 episodes have been combined as one, and then on the premiere date, September 18th, you get episodes 1 through 3. So you get
Nice.
1 and 2 as one solid episode, and then the 3rd episode will be available immediately after the pilot.
And then is it every Monday?
It's every Monday and every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time.
Nice.
Until they run out of episodes.
So technically there are still 17. It's just that the first 3 are being released on September 18th. What's the website again? I'm really bad at this part. I'm sorry.
It's on YouTube at Red Rue Series. Yes.
Okay. I thought that's what it was. I just don't want to say it wrong. And then next to Anna, we have Kristin. You were with the crew, right? Okay.
Yes. I'm in every shot if you knock down a wall.
Which I'm sure Laura would appreciate, because that's shot at your house,
It
right?
is shot at my house.
Okay.
I'm sitting on the other side of a wall with the script as the script supervisor. And a glass of wine.
I was going to say, don't forget the glass of wine.
The glass of
A
wine.
glass of wine.
So Kristin was actually promoted to production manager on the spot because she was doing such a great job with telling me, Michelle, you have to get this shot and don't forget this line. And I was like, you were hired for production manager. So.
But honestly, that's good, because that really is what a script supervisor does on those things, which is you don't think that at all, because you just think, oh, it's something that goes before the cameras. But no, like, you're technically the continuity police, and you are just
Right, yeah.
and you're so that's good job getting the official.
Thank you.
Good job, congratulations. And
we've also
she does it.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, okay. Because even I was just like,
Do you remember that thing that you wrote for me?
that thing that you did, that you sang, that you did, and you wrote.
we also, my band and I, So Long Stargazer, we were tasked with writing the theme song for the series, which we have now completed. It's called Rain Caught Fire. I don't know when it's going to be released, but we're not going to release it until it's released as part of the series. So
It's amazing.
It's so
It's
good.
such an
You
amazing
previewed some
song.
of it, like you guys listening to the
I
the
think
edit.
it was like a 15-second snippet of us listening
and
to
it was amazing from what I heard there. It was awesome.
I'm really happy with how it came out.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song.
Yeah.
And I asked Kristin, just hoping for like maybe 15 seconds of piano or just something. And she's like, okay. And I gave her some ideas of kind of what I was going for. And she comes back, like, I think 2 weeks later with like 5.5 minutes worth of music. And I'm like, this is amazing.
I didn't know you only
How do I cut it down to only 10 seconds for the intro?
This is a bounty of things now. But now,
theme song. I wrote a song.
No,
but-
I am so happy and so grateful for this song.
but and
because
here's
it's
and here's the
amazing.
nice thing too, which is nice.
Misunderstanding is just now occurring to me.
Yeah, but but Ellie, okay. In my opinion, though, Kristin, I think it's awesome because it's not like, hey, Rembrandts, we want you to do like a 30-second version. I'll be there for you. And then it's like, could you do a full version? We want you to make some money off this now. And they're like,
But are you telling
But it
me I could
won't-
have done like the Full House theme song?
Yes,
Like,
that's all. That's all that I was
I would
hoping.
kind of like to hear a Full House version of Red Rue.
Oh dear Lord.
Yeah.
But honestly,
you
though,
get Chase to sing it from. He's one of the lead singers with Kristin and So Long Stargazer. So that would be really.
Kristin's broken.
we
She
broke
cannot talk anymore.
No, but I'm so happy because this is also probably one of my favorite things I've ever written. So I'm so glad that I misunderstood
didn't
it.
know.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's such a great song.
Happy little accidents.
Yes, yes.
Sincerely, yeah.
And I think the fact that it is actually a full song is going to make fans of the series very
Absolutely.
happy. Because
Yes.
I mean, it really is. I think what Kristin did is really awesome because it is kind of an anthem for the song for the series, but at the same time, it stands so well on its own as an individual song that like it's one of
Yes.
those things you could listen to and not just be like,
I
you
say
know,
that-
that's a theme song. It's like
Confidently,
oh,
like
this is
I've heard the
great.
whole thing. But no, I mean, knowing your guys' stuff previously
Yeah.
and from what I've heard,
Well, that was
sounds
part of
so
the
cool.
thing because I had taken a break from not a break, but we just hadn't had enough time to do band stuff because I'd been doing theater, and Chase, our lead singer, had also been in a production of Jesus Christ Superstar. So we'd both been really busy, and I
Didn't
knew
he direct something else too?
he just
assistant
got
directed?
done directing. God, what was it? I don't even remember.
The Sister
right now.
Act? No,
No, it
it was
wasn't.
something. It was same
Oh,
group,
don't
wasn't
kill
it?
me. Yes, it was.
No, it's okay.
Imagine
I'm not. Yeah,
Productions.
yeah.
But I was like, I
That's the
can't
whorehouse
take.
of Texas.
Yes, thank you. We love you,
Sorry.
Chase. But I was like, if I bring the band, I knew I needed their help, but I didn't want to bring them something and ask them to put time into something that was not also for us. So it was one of the first questions I asked Michelle, like, can we have co-ownership? Can this also be a So Long Stargazer song, but you know, you have full use of it for the series. So it's going to be on our next EP. It's going to be one of our regular songs. It's just written with this series in mind, very specifically.
And I think I posted I commented on the post on Facebook when you posted it, and I was like, "Are you guys going to also do a new album?" And they were like, "We're working on it." I was like,
Yes.
So for those who are fans of Red Rue and then like, let's hear more so long songs, they are working on an
I
album.
think they're actually writing a song per episode.
You're pushing your luck
like
there.
17 songs, I think, on your new.
Said on a podcast, it must be.
It must be true.
It must be true.
The other 16 songs are all 15 seconds.
Yeah.
We can merge it with the pirate musical, and I think we've got some content.
We've got it.
Oh my
We've got it
god. Kat has wrote in her brain a wonderful pirate musical. And you know what? I'm not kidding. I might have you on another time I'm not kidding. It is really good, Kat.
It is. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
That was supposed to be a joke. This is still about Kristin, so...
That's fine.
It's okay. It's called conversation. It happens occasionally.
I just want to throw.
We're just gonna occasionally shit on you for it, though.
I just have to throw in a shameless plug for So Long Stargazer 2. If you want to hear, like, not a preview of the Red Rue song yet, but if you want a taste of what their music is like, they are on Spotify. So, and Spotify, I did not know this until, like, last year, is free on the web. You can access any song if you're on a desktop computer.
Yep.
So,
And there are 4 or 5 original So Long Stargazer songs that will be featured in Red Rue. About 15 seconds worth.
But yeah, So Long
Songs we already have.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was about ready to add that in. I was going to throw in there earlier, you're just like, I'm sorry, can we just 3, 2, 1 it for a second? Because you're like, I don't know if I can do 17 more songs. No. Then you're like 15 seconds a piece, I think. No.
Got that.
Kristin, when Rain Caught Fire comes out, how do I buy it?
Oh,
Would it be
good
on
call.
iTunes, or...
Look at you.
We'll probably just have it through our website. Do it Louis C.K. style. Like, hey, here's our art. If you want to buy it, buy it. Cool. It'll probably eventually be free somewhere too. Let's be honest. But
Now, which that brings up a point. I know you're releasing it weekly free on YouTube. At some point, are you going to then leave like the first 3 episodes up, and then will you have to purchase when season 2 comes around?
No.
So it's free the whole time. That's awesome.
This is free the whole time. There won't even be ads on the shows.
Oh wow!
It's completely free to watch. It's a show just for especially the LGBT community to watch and just fall in love with the characters and build a relationship with the characters and see what true friendship is about. And I don't think that people should have to pay in order to see that. So I know that is alive and well.
That's awesome. I have nothing. I can't. No. And lastly, I'm getting to him. Calm down, Anna.
We're missing someone.
Our blonde
Shane.
beauty over here.
Hi, I'm here too. I did sound.
And FYI, you would not be able to hear Kat and Laura well if it wasn't for Shane, because we were starting.
But no one's ever had a problem.
I'm sorry. That's a fair point. But no, I was kind of not paying attention, and Shane was just Shane. Actually, yeah, Shane shot me a look. I was like, "What? What are you? Like, you're Shane. I know who you are." He's like, "No. Yeah, I don't know how you do. He does. I don't know how anyone does sound like that because, I mean, technically you're almost like a puppeteer in some regards because you're constantly just holding your hands up for long periods of time.
If anyone's
you
ever
wanna
seen
cry.
Adventure Time, and you know when they get excited, their arms go wiggly. That's how my arms were after the end of that.
And Michelle, how long
Noodles.
did you say our filming time was? You said the number the other day.
It was about 6 to 7 hours each day. So
Shane held his arms above his head practically that entire time
Pretty
with
much.
no one to help him.
I was standing on a chair though, so
How does that
helps.
make your arms less tired?
I have to raise them as high.
Yeah, so well, that's true because then you can kind of rest it right here and be like, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, trying to, I mean, because even though it was a fixed space, people would come in through the door and kind of come over to the side, and I had another microphone fixed over the couch, which I actually wound up using that one more than the other one because you guys were on the couch a lot.
yeah,
So-
that's where most of the blocking took place.
Well, and I mean, so when I shot video before, sound is so important. And actually, last year at the 48-Hour Film Fest here in Columbus, there was one short. It was well shot. The audio was it can make or break something, man.
Yeah.
And I know you are good, so you know what I mean. But like, what are the challenges? Like, do you have to deal with the air conditioning at her
there's
place?
a lot. Well, and like,
What are the
there
challenges
was
for
a lot
that
of stuff,
location?
and the place we were shooting at was like, a jump from the street. So there were, occasionally there were trucks that went by, but
fire trucks.
typically you can't eliminate all the sound.
True,
so you will hear cars go by, but it's not that noticeable. Once I think there was a motorcycle that went by during one scene, but
the joys of downtown.
Yeah, so try to get rid of it as much as possible, but that and air conditioning. Always remembering to get room tone, just all right, quiet for 10 seconds while I record.
Oh, that's right.
Nothing, so that I can patch it in when I'm switching between microphones and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Oh man, yeah, because audio can, it's all been that. The other day this last Saturday when we performed, there was a massive motorcycle just going down, and it's downtown, so that's it's. Yeah, there's always that time where some of us probably, usually it's you and I, and now it's, I think, a few more people because they're getting aware of how the audio side of stuff works, but they just, sometimes we want to pause, but we can't.
Right.
So, yeah, because then it's just weird, awkward pause.
Yeah.
Not explained.
Well, Shane taught us something new, sound versus speed.
No, what's that? I've not heard of that before.
So, I don't know, you can Google it for the exact history, but it harkens back to the days of actually cranking the camera. So, 24 frames per second became the standard because when you had to crank, you averaged about 24 frames per second as you were cranking the camera. And so, for the sound to match up, you had to match the speed of the camera. So it was, camera rolling, sound up to speed became speed. And then people still say it now just as a habit, or if that's all you were taught. So I mean, really, you could say
okay. Now you said that, I was like, we just called it speed. So I was like, what?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, and then that leads to when I went to we went to the same school kind of to the Ohio Center of Broadcasting. White balancing is a thing too. You have to do, which I didn't. I just thought, you put the camera up, and then you have to sync it with sound, and that's pretty much it. No, you have to white balance. If you don't white balance... Now, do you have to do anything crazy, though, to make it look like a webcam, though? Because you probably want the best-looking picture, but then do you have to dilute it or add a filter or anything to it to make it that webcam look?
There's one episode where all hell has broken loose. And so, of course, with demons running amok, satellites and the internet isn't going to be as clear, so there is some static going on.
That's cool.
But for the other episodes, it's pretty clear because webcams are
they are far along.
Yeah, they are far along, and Apple does a great job with their with their product. So
yes, they do.
Yeah,
so look at my Mac, it's over there lovingly.
I love you, Mac.
I was waiting for that because if Jimmy was here, he would have piped up a lot sooner. Bravo, Shane. Way to be classy with it.
But for the very first show or the episode, there is right at the beginning where the webcam is being hacked into, so you can see the the static and all of that, and the screen jumping. So it does. So
is your production? Do you have someone who's doing the effects for that as well? Or is that you, or is that someone else?
I'm not going to say because
fair enough.
No,
no, that's fine.
It's me and this other guy that I hired off the side.
No, that's cool.
Then he's adding a lot of the special effects.
Did you find him on the web,
I
or
did.
Is it like you? Okay,
yeah.
Internet's a beautiful thing.
It
is
is.
for stuff like that. It really is because you start to panic for a second, and then you're like, oh, I have this gigantic this tool. I can, it really is helpful. Yeah. So we got 17 episodes. And I can't ask anything else because at that point it becomes a little bit too spoilery. Because I'm like, because it's to be clear too, I don't think we've not talked about this. It is a horror web series, correct?
It is not.
Oh, it's not a horror web series. I thought it was a horror show for some reason. I apologize.
It is more supernatural, very very low key horror. I would say there's some suspense to it, but I would say it's kind of like along the lines of Buffy, if you want to call that horror, which I don't think that is.
I wouldn't call it. Well, I would call it. Yeah, words are are hard.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what you would call it because it is kind of a horror show, but it's like horror light in some cases because there's some episodes that are terrifying, like the body, like just the concept of how it's done, which is it's a very quiet episode until the last half or last 5-10 minutes. But even then, because it's dealing with Buffy's mom's the body, or then there's other episodes like Silence, which that is, I mean, very well done. So, but there are other episodes where it's like
comedy.
It's or they're making fun of the fact that we don't have a super lot of money, so this is our monster, kind of thing. But
all of season 1,
There's some funny.
Oh God, yes.
I think there's some funny moments in
Red Rue.
Red Rue.
Yeah.
I think it's not horror in the traditional sense. Like there's no jump scares, which I hate myself. So I'm glad there aren't any jump scares.
And if there were, you would say they were great.
I would.
No, I know. I'm giving you crap, Anna.
No, no jump scares. No, not really blood and gore or anything. It's suspenseful.
I don't know why I thought it was like a horror for some reason.
Because it has a ghost in it.
Well, no, I feel like someone told me. Well, maybe it's because you hadn't written it yet. Someone says like. So I thought someone was like, "I'm going to be in a web series." It's like it might be a horror web. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, and then it might have completely changed.
Michelle
I don't
does
know.
a lot of horror.
Yeah,
too.
that
maybe
may
that's
be
why
where you're getting.
I'm
that
sorry.
from.
Yeah, so I completely jumped to.
I'm a
conclusion.
multi-genre writer.
That's good. Well, and do you watch Supernatural? I'm not a Supernatural person, even though I completely should. No, I know, and I should be because of Moose and Squirrel, but I completely am not.
It's trash.
I
love you, Supernatural, so much. Please have me. If I got like a walk-on role, I'd quit acting.
I think that show's going to go in perpetuity, so I think you're okay.
They've all
To get
got
a chance.
kids now, so they've got bills to pay.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the same kind of vibe where I feel like
Yeah.
So
like Charmed or any of those other.
that's coming back.
Oh, is it?
It's being
I've been
Every
binge
show
watching
is coming
Charmed
back.
in preparation.
I think it's going to be on Netflix, and they're. I think it's
didn't
going to
hear
be.
it was
It's going to be a
confirmed
reboot,
yet.
not a reboot. Where like I think they got all 3 original girls.
Is Shannon Doherty okay to play her role?
Well,
Yeah, because she
That's-
has cancer, right?
that part.
And also got kicked off the show for
I was
being
going to say
a bitch.
also left the show under very bad terms. So
Yeah.
Hi, Grandma. no. It's no.
I'm
But
obviously
you're not.
worried about working in the industry.
No, but well.
You've got your pirate
here's-
musical.
but-
It's fine.
Thank you.
But here's the thing, though, with Shannon Doherty, and I don't think I'm speaking out of turn.
I don't
The
think
chances
that's
that she
confirmed.
listens to this one anyway. But I'll make sure to tag you, dear, in the podcast notes. No, but in all seriousness, though, she's well known for having, in her early part of her career, being difficult.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
Charmed, I
Yeah.
think, was the final
Definitely.
point she was known as that. And then ever since then, I think she's been more like, I'm
Like chilled
I
out.
think I have a problem of being a douchebag on the set or with my co-stars.
Who
so.
should have gotten kicked off of our set?
Drama!
Are we
And what
going?
sister would you replace them with?
Are we going based off attitude or not memorizing lines?
because
For those at home playing, I believe Cat might be the one with the line issue.
There might be a picture.
There might be a video.
I know. I
Saying
think
how
I
this
have seen
comes
that
up
photo.
all the time. It happened once.
Because that was the only drama during the entire
well, we had some
filming.
technical drama that was magically solved by Anna carrying around a giant. What did you have?
Oh,
in your
memory
purse?
card.
A giant memory card. We would have to stop filming, and then Anna pulled out of her Mary Poppins purse the exact thing that we needed. It was miraculous.
Listen. Okay, so I.
Little tech klepto.
Yes, no, I happen to be a hobbyist photographer, like Michelle, except Michelle's better than me. She's more of a
No,
professional.
no,
so.
that's not true.
But I am definitely a hobbyist, and I actually also take photos for my workplace. And I had an event the next morning after filming at work that I had to photograph, and I didn't want to run to work to grab my camera, so I had my camera and my whole camera setup in the trunk of my car. So Michelle at one point was just like, "Oh crap, we're gonna have to stop filming. Like we're."
Because I had a little measly 32 gig card.
Right. And so
what was I thinking?
Well, no, that makes sense because
Well, this is your first production, like this in this magnitude, right?
Well, yeah.
So
Yeah.
and 32
It
gig
happens.
covers you for most things, but when you're filming a full web series, you know. And so at one point she's like, "Guys, I think we're gonna have to call it quits. I'm out of memory." And I had this thought. I was like, "My camera's in the car," and I was like, "Michelle, I have 152 gig memory card in my bag right now. I don't know if that's the exact number, but it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
but.
and then the angels came down and was like, "Oh, thank you, Anna."
Yeah. So that was very lucky. That was.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is when you do a production, you know what I mean, for the first time, there's always something you're going to, and so it's just like, I'm learning to fail for this half second, so I will do it better for season 2. It really, and that goes, I think, in any type you do, any type of creative thing, when it's drawing, music, like when you record. So, like, didn't you guys do recording music for the first time? I'm talking to Kristin for So Long Stargazer before you guys went into and got, because I know you guys got money from Cover My Meds for some kind of thing.
We did, yeah.
And then you guys professionally recorded now, but didn't you guys record stuff yourself previously?
We went into the studio with as much pre-recorded as we could.
Okay.
It was mostly because we don't have a bass player. We did all the bass with synth, so I did that off the keyboard, and then all my keyboards were pre-recorded, and we used a MIDI to do that. And we did an 8-hour day of just blowing through all of that. We went back to listen to it, and something in the connection.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And see, and that's
our joke was that it was as if Michael J. Fox had been put in charge of playing the keyboard because it was the right notes, but it was like
I'm so
like
glad
really
neither of us are going to work in the
We're
industry.
not going to work. It's okay. We'll just start our own.
Speaking of Cat not working in the industry, I actually have an audio recording of the
not
meltdown.
Okay, yeah, please do.
Let's hear the meltdown.
Now, given this was originally a Snapchat video,
Also,
so I do
probably is it safe for work? Which
not.
portion is the meltdown?
For Grandma Connie.
No, I did not hit that portion.
No.
I still quote.
Wait, are we
that.
saying lines in this video? In which case,
Is it any of the
shouldn't play it
spoilers? Any of the
because
spoilers?
It's not any spoilers because Kat couldn't
spoiler
figure
free.
out what her lines were. So, so this
poor
is
Kat.
Kat trying to remember her lines. It's only a 10-second clip, but it's beautiful.
God, she's not here. She's no longer in the house. She's straight ghosted us. And then I say,
And none of those lines appear anywhere.
Except for on the floor at Laura's house.
Yes, and
That's
she was on the
where
floor,
her
and
lines
you.
are.
Yeah.
Well, but Kat has
Poor
discussed
Kat.
before that her lines as an actor are on the floor.
We were just talking about this the other night. Yeah, that like as an actor, which I would not presume to call myself, when you memorize things, sometimes when you're trying to remember something, maybe there's a habit you have, or you have to be careful. If I learned all my lines by pacing, you might only remember your lines by pacing. All of my lines live on the floor. So if I can't remember something, I'm usually lying on the floor, sitting on the floor. Sometimes I'm kicking my feet in the metaphorical way that my lines might be then stuck to the bottom of my feet. I'm not a crazy person. This is a real thing, maybe for someone else out there. So I couldn't remember my lines, and my safe space is the floor, and that's where my lines are. And I laid face down on the floor of Laura's foyer, and
fancy word.
and I
you know what?
screamed a
It's a
lot
foyer.
until I got all my lines.
Sure.
In Kat's defense, we had all of us that participated in Red Rue wrapped a show the week before. So I think it's
So it
fair
was Sketchy
to say...
Sex at that point? Or
no,
was
that
it
was
Theater Roulette?
That was
Oh, gee,
Roulette,
yeah.
Mad Lab.
So
all of us
everyone had multiple.
Oh, wait, I wasn't in
participated.
roulette.
Oh, but you were in another
You were in
show,
Steel
though.
Magnolias?
No,
No,
that's
that
coming
hasn't
up.
happened.
That's coming in November.
You were in Tempest.
You were in something.
I was in Tempest.
Yeah,
Tempest.
like all of us had
Wrapped, then
just
Sketchy Sex, then...
wrapped a show,
Select
and
on
I
that.
think it's fair to say we all learned our lines in like less than 5 days, probably.
And it had nothing to do with the fact that I gave them their script 2 months prior to
No, that's
filming.
moving.
Well, but
If I put more lines in, it'll push the lines I currently have in there out. Like, there's only so much
I don't
room
care
for
about
more.
roulette. I care
Brain-
about Red Rue.
brain. No. Well, no, and that's always. But honestly, you guys though got a television experience though because that's what they do. Like in some cases, you get a day, especially if you do the sitcom thing, like they actually change it on the set, and you have to memorize it. Like
Well,
I
and you guys got to shoot it for the most part chronologically, except for like 2 scenes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
a gift.
Is not something that usually.
And then having an amazing script supervisor who was like, that's not the line.
I don't know if it's on bloopers, but you can see us pause and just wait for Mom to yell at us sometimes in some of the takes.
Mama Kristin.
My favorite was reminding them that it's not like theater where if I'm feeding them a line, they can't talk over me. I'm like, nope, they can't use that because my voice is in there.
No,
Let
right.
me give you your line, pause, and then say it.
No,
But
yeah.
it's right, because in theater, what you
Your
do
theater,
is like,
yeah.
if
Good
you're
point.
if you're in a rehearsal for a theatrical production
Mm-hmm.
and you call line, you only let them read as much of the line as you need until you get it, and then you take it over from there. And we are all mostly theater actors, and so poor Kristin had to deal with us being just
Well,
like
me too. It didn't
riding
even
over.
occur to me at first either, because I'm, more theater, and then I was like, wait, Shane can't use that if I'm
No.
also speaking.
Well, I felt really horrible the other day just because we have that stage in Mad Lab for It's All Been Done where the wood, it would creak at just the weirdest times.
Yeah.
And I'm just like...
Oh, does Pirates have a fake floor? Is there a
It's
fake
like a
floor?
there's
It's
like a
platform.
It's a platform, wooden platform, and
it a
I mean
plank?
it looks like a it does. No, but yeah, it does. It looks cool, but like I remember we started going through it, and literally the first universe journey, I was like, Chris, please stop, don't narrate anymore. All right, Keith, stop. Shane, okay, remember, guys, even when you come in, wait for people to come in and come out. And the only times I think it was acceptable was during Daniel Kravitz, because you guys are running up and robbing someone, and then you run away.
Yeah.
And so at that point, I was just like, letting that go. But no, and but during the show, everyone had it worked out. But I felt like every 5 seconds I was stopping for sound because
That one's going to be heavily edited.
yeah, well, no, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah, and that's because sound. Yeah, it's such a
Yeah, well, in that we're doing both. We've got the live performance, so we want to give the audience a normal theater show, but then, we also have to think about how
Right.
is this going to sound? It's a podcast.
no, but like the sound portion of it is so hard, especially when you're trying to do with. Oh, I know this was gonna say Cameron. I love Cameron Crowe movies like Jerry Maguire, Almost Famous, and that kind of thing. And his big thing is now actually it's common on a lot of sets. Baby Driver is another good example where music is a huge part of either Cameron Crowe's life and the film, and like they just blare music really loud and do the scene. And my first thought is ADR nightmare, but Cameron said during Vanilla Sky is something that. He found a way to play the music loud without it's not impacting the audio, so there's not a lot of ADR they have to do. And I'm like, you're full of crap, sir. I feel like you're full of
They're
crap.
probably just telling him that.
That's true.
$1 million reshoots happen when
Yeah. Well, yeah, and again, your star is Tom Cruise, so let's throw some money at
Right.
it. So, but no, I mean, yeah, it's very difficult. So, because the part of me has that in my mind, I would do the same, like, it's going to sound great. Let's just put
I
music
love
really
that
loud.
movie, but thinking about it, I'm like, there's no way. Really?
No, right. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, all of them. I mean, especially, Nick, drummer, when he did the Baby Driver one, he said that they had a choreographer to time out the beats as they were filming, because the musical numbers the musical scenes are almost like a dance number, and every actor had to hit a beat at a certain time. And I was like, in those scenes where there's no dialogue, it makes sense. You throw dialogue in there, I'm just like ADR, because then you're doing an anime at that point.
Yeah.
You mess it up for one little second, the lips do not sync, and that drives me nuts. So technically, well, I couldn't handle that.
Yeah.
We should do a Red Rue anime.
Supernatural did an anime and it was not good.
Well, damn it, Supernatural.
That's because they only got one of the two guys to do the voice.
Yeah, because one of them was smart. I love Supernatural so much, and I don't want it to sound like I don't. I just
Was it Dean from Gilmore
recognize its
Girls?
faults. Dean from Gilmore Girls plays Sam, not Dean in Supernatural.
confusing.
This is basics, Nick. This is basics.
I don't remember. I just know I'm watching Gilmore Girls with the wife, and I was like, it's the dude from Supernatural.
He
And she's
is
like,
in
it's Dean. I'm like, she doesn't say it like that. She's like, no, I think his name is Dean. I'm like, okay, I'm
His
sorry.
name is Dean in Gilmore Girls, correct?
Yes, but it's Sam in Supernatural.
Yes,
Oh
and
my
his
God.
brother is Dean.
Okay.
Of which Cody has
Oh,
a
that is
life-size
confusing.
cutout, because I bought it for him for his birthday.
So wait, no. So the brother is Dean, but
Yeah.
he plays
Yeah.
Sam.
Yeah.
That is
And
confusing.
it was on the same network, right?
White
so it
people,
seems
am I
like
right?
that's like an easy
Can she just say that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, she can. I have no control over
Cat
no, I
is
know.
never going to work in the
And
industry
she, again.
I think she's accepted that.
I'm just gonna write all my own shit.
And then,
Grandma.
well, until she comes back for Red Rue Series 2.
Unless I get
Unless
killed off.
she gets killed off.
So Justine actually dies in the very first second of season 2. So.
Oh no! What's that?
Kristen,
I said that doesn't
Story.
necessarily mean you're gone. Just
That's true. 'cause-
Get hit by a truck.
So,
Well,
without spoiling too much, because I'm sure you probably reveal it. Like, so does Rue, does she have like does she take a physical form, or is it literally she's a ghost?
Rue is a ghost, but she does have a physical form to people that she trusts. So if she trusts you, then you can see her, hear her, and touch her.
Okay. And can she pick things up and do corporeal thing?
Yes.
Corporeal?
Corporeal.
Yeah,
yeah.
those are hard.
Yes.
So take a drink. No, but yeah, because I know that was in some ghost stories, like that's a big thing. It's like, oh, I have to concentrate to pick up this water bottle and move it around.
Yeah.
Even though, like, you can clearly see me.
Well, she's been a ghost for 100 years, so she's had
that's
time
true.
to practice.
Yeah, she's had...
You know.
No, Mac, no.
The Mac wants in on this.
Well, my Mac is getting up in years.
Okay.
And it needs to be upgraded heavily, so
Okay.
it can't really process recording audio well anymore. If not, we would lose half this conversation. And that's not... Well, we used to do the old It's All Been Done shows with that, and so literally between every segment, please hold, click, because that's like a 2008.
Okay.
And it can only go up as 6 gigabytes, and I have like Photoshop, Final Draft. Oh, it's like it's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
But it's a horse in World War I.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Grandma, but it's seen some shit. Okay.
I cried through the last 50 minutes of War Horse when I saw it on stage.
I was about to say War Horse, but I was like, I don't know if people will get that right.
Not even the movie. The puppets.
Yeah.
I just wept. It was really hard.
Did you see that? Did it come through Columbus, or did you see it in New York? Or
Oh, I hate saying this. I saw it in London.
why do you hate saying that? That's
It
freaking
sounds
rad.
really douche. When you're a theater person and like every conversation
I
with me
would
is
never.
like, well, when I saw it in London.
That is literally
Okay.
every conversation with Cat.
Okay.
I'm the worst. Everyone hates me.
But
That's
if
the
you
takeaway.
say it like that, then yes,
Worst is
you're
not
like hello. I just saw a performance in London. If you say it like that, then yeah, you're kind of
Well,
being
Hardy's
a-
currently in Paris, so
that's true.
Kyle
Yeah.
isn't here because she's in
But
Paris.
she's promoted Red Rue every single time she's been on. She's been on the last few episodes.
And now, to be fair, not to rag on Kyle,
Thank you, Kyle.
she is
Oh.
in Paris for a work trip.
Yeah,
she's
that's
been working
true.
constantly.
Yes, she
so
has. She-
And then in London for vacation. So
Yeah.
so let's not erect the statue of her quite yet.
Actually, she's going to I think a play in London though. I think she.
I'm sure she is. You don't go to London and not see theater.
See, I'm not gonna lie. If I went to that would not be my first thought, because my first thought is also
you're
I would
getting
not
it.
want to go to London. No, well.
Forget that country over there.
No, I think just because, and this is horrible, but like in terms of like Europe as a whole, which Great Britain is a part of, I'd rather even go to. You don't know anymore. No, that's the EU, dear. That's no. Well, then you scared me for a second, because sometimes I feel like I know something and I'm horribly wrong, and I'm just like, is it? Wait.
Oh no.
No, that's that's the EU. It's, Brexit.
Good job, Nick. You did it.
Yeah.
So this show called Red Rue
No,
is going to be on this thing called the internet,
yes.
which Nick may or may not be able to access from that computer over there.
That's the one thing.
Started.
That's the one thing you could do. No, but London, it's very nice. It's just it's not exotic. Like I'd rather go to Spain or France first, and then because I will watch
White
stuff.
people, am I right?
I know, right? It's so. Oh my god! I just don't want to go to London anymore. You guys. It's just so not.
Dude, it's just white people are so boring.
Oh no! I mean, I want to see Harry Potter, on the stage,
Is
but
that still on stage?
actually, is it? I don't know.
It is, yeah.
In my
I hope-
brain, I think it is. I don't
just
think
hope
the original
stage
cast is
version
not.
is better than
The
how
book.
it read.
It would have to be because you're seeing performance
Exactly,
and emotion.
that's-
I would hope so.
yeah.
I'd hope so. I don't know. That's a weird show to do time. Any Broadway play or any stage play is weird to do time travel in. You do time travel at some point? Is there time travel? I'm curious. Sorry. Oh,
Is there
no.
time travel?
Not yet.
Oh,
Not yet.
Okay.
No.
I love time travel stories. I do.
I really want season 2 to have some flashbacks. I don't know how we'd work that out with a hack webcam.
With a
But
hack
I want
webcam. I don't know.
flashbacks to solidify some choices I made as an actor that may or may not ruin
was-
lives.
Reshoots.
I was actually thinking about a flashback that involved you and Hardy and how you guys became friends. And all I know, there was a lot of flannel and like fringe leather involved.
Have you started watching Winona Earp? Have you
I
seen
saw
Winona
the
Earp?
first episode of it.
Oh, there's some good leather jackets in Winona Earp. And lesbians.
This is coming from the vegetarian.
I think some flashbacks could work for several of the characters in the show.
Well, I
Through
guess
a webcam, though?
You could also
How
season
would-
2
how
could
would
be
we
a
see it?
prequel season too.
So I guess that's an important point for you because the first season is all webcam.
Mm-hmm.
Have you thought about breaking the format to an extent to do a
Yeah.
little bit, like to play more, and then as the show,
Yeah,
if it keeps going,
that
then
would-
just keep changing it?
That would definitely allow for more creativity with the script and the storytelling. But I'm a big fan of sticking with how
Of
it
course.
started, you know. So I would like to stick to the webcam point of view, but I mean, I'm always open to other options.
CCTV.
Multiple webcams.
Oh, Google Glass.
Security cameras. Well, you could also do security cameras as well if you can somehow
Oh,
get
yeah.
it at that angle.
That's
security
true.
camera.
It doesn't have to be the same webcam.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's
That's
yeah.
true.
You guys just
How long have they been watched?
well, there was no. That's a spoiler. I can't say that.
Never mind.
Okay.
Don't worry. It's season 2, kids. Just wait.
Season 2.
Season two.
2 may have multiple cameras.
No, that's so. You guys just kept the one camera the whole time. There wasn't other.
Nope,
Okay.
just one camera, and we put duct tape around the legs of the tripod in case it got bumped or moved. We would know exactly
That's-
where to put it.
And it only got bumped once, and it was me.
And I yelled at her.
That is when we put the tape
It
down.
didn't start with
It wasn't tapes originally.
Did you have to do a quick it's like okay reshoot? We're gonna have to completely add a scene where she bumps it, so then it's there the rest of the time.
Been a good idea.
Michelle just said a single word, which was my name, and then I stopped breathing, and I'm not sure what happened for 5 minutes after that because I may have blanked out and left my body.
Yes. I was a corrections officer for 5 years, so I can
shit.
get
All
that
right,
that
Yankees.
tone when need be.
Very first
My
Yeah,
dad worked
I
at
agree.
London Correctional Institute, the original LOCI. 'Cause
Okay.
There's one right across the street from it, which is now the better one. And I don't. But anyway, I understand.
Okay. Yeah.
You do not. Yep. Yeah, you kind of black out for a second, and you wake up like, where am I? What am I doing
Yeah.
here?
The important
What happened the last?
important part was that I am the Shannon Doherty of this cast. I think so.
Oh
No. We all still like you.
no, yeah, we all still like
Shannon
you.
Doherty.
Oh, well, I've never worked with her.
Once I find an actor to replace Cat with, then that's when the truth will come out.
Audrey Rush might be available. I think she's the next best replacement for me.
So without giving anything away, people are just shaking their heads, and like Cat's still going, "What? What's going on?" People are shaking their heads. Yeah, you guys all know. For someone like me who does not know, where do you hope, Michelle? I guess you three can't necessarily answer this, but it's for you guys as actors. Where do you want your character? I'm sorry, I
Which
apologize.
three?
I think you three.
Us three.
Yeah.
The
You
off-screen
three.
talent.
The three who have no roles.
He's not talking to you.
Well, I thought I was very descriptive in that area, but apparently I didn't go, you! And you are understanding completely what's going on in
Nick,
how...
would you like to ask the actors a question?
I would. Thank you, Laura. Thank you. Where did you expect your character to go? Where would you have liked to have seen them go? And where they might go? I mean, it could be...
You cannot, Anna.
Well, no, you can't. Yeah, do not spoil anything. I'm just saying...
I can see the wheels turning in her head. As my mom says, you can see the squirrels running in their cages.
Okay, so for example, if you read when you first got did you give them the full script in like one giant file? Is that what you ended up doing?
I gave them the first 10 episodes, which was like the first 25, 30 pages.
Okay.
Before and that was like me asking them, hey, I wrote this. It's kind of in rough draft form. Read through it, and if you want to do it, great. And so they all wrote back and
So
said they want
when
to
you
do it.
first read the first 10 pages, let's go with that.
Which I was not in.
For God's sake.
First 10 episodes.
First 10. Well, I'm trying to think of. Okay, what episode do you come in? Or can she say that?
Am I episode 6 or
Six.
7? Okay, 6.
Okay. Oh my, you're far along then.
I'm a late bloomer.
You're a late bloomer. Oh, for life. All right. Well, so did your arc go in the direction you thought it was when you were the first 10 pages of that, or however of your episode you come in?
Yeah, I think where I ended up is where I expected to at the end of the series, and that's literally the only thing I can say.
You are that person in Star Wars that...
Sorry.
Which is everybody.
Michelle is glaring at me from across the table right now.
I understand. But literally, you're the Star Wars person of the group, probably.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. God, I just want to know what happens to... Anyway.
Yeah, he said anyway because he doesn't remember the character's name. We all know it. And a drink and forgot her character's name.
Everyone, no.
Stella.
Oh, well, no, at least yes, I forgot everyone. I know you're Anna. I forgot that. That's what I thought she was saying for a second. She's like, you forgot my name. I'm like, no, I forgot your character's name.
The friendship
I'm sorry.
that she builds.
Well, yeah, no, that's what I was going to say about...
I'm sure you were.
No.
So she gave you the okay of...
I just didn't know
okay.
how much I was allowed to talk about.
I know, dear. I'm giving you crap.
So Stella comes in as an outsider to the group because she
Right.
was hired on for the purpose of translating this spell book that the ladies find. And so she starts off as a stranger in the series. And no, to be honest, I mean, like, once I realized that I was in more episodes, I was kind of like, oh, okay, so this friendship grows. And it's like, it's something that she becomes a part of. But the first few episodes, I was like, that's really nice, Michelle, for you to give me the walk-on role as the translator. But then, I mean, she becomes a part of the story and a part of the group.
So once this ends, what's the turnaround time for season 2?
Well,
I'm looking ahead for the future.
it has to be written.
Sure.
A concept has to be thought of.
Are you going to approach it like a BBC series, which, where you're just like, when I have it figured out, then I'll start it?
Yes.
I think that is fantastic.
For something like this, like you can't rush art, you can't rush creativity, and
Hollywood disagrees with you.
Oh, I know.
So
Hollywood is all about the dollar.
That's why I'm like, I genuinely think that's fantastic. I agree with that. Yeah.
So when the right story comes along, that's when I'll get writing, and hopefully all these wonderful actors are available. And
Otherwise, someone's getting killed off.
otherwise, someone is
So did you have to do that? You don't have to say. Obviously don't want to say because spoilers. But like, did you have to do that in this scenario where it's just like there was a scheduling thing, and you're just like, oh no.
Yes, there was.
Oh,
Not that I had to kill someone off.
Okay.
They just weren't in the room at that time. So
Okay.
I have a question for Shane, because I haven't asked you this yet, and I feel like it's relevant. Did anything come up that surprised you or was funny, or anything in the editing of sound that...
Did people make weird breathing? Is anyone like a...
did stomach gurgles or something?
I feel bad for you, but you had to do
No, most of it. I was surprised at how little I had to switch back and forth between the microphones.
Yeah.
Because I was anticipating having to do, like, every single line. And a couple of the episodes were a little more, like, sometimes when your character, Cat, would sit in the armchair, that was a little more... Because I was in with the mic I was holding, I was right in front of you, and then like Rue or Katie was on the couch, so it was like literally like back forth, back forth, back forth. But overall, I don't recall other than the motorcycle, and I think didn't we have to stop once because there was an airplane or something? There was
airplanes are the worst.
Light or something.
There was definitely a siren at one point.
That's what it was.
You really didn't do. I mean, you guys pretty much nailed it in everything in one take. I think there were
Actually,
only like
I was going to ask that. Where
two episodes that you had to actually stop or not stop, but you did it twice.
Yeah, well, we shot every episode at least twice, except for the final one. But there were some where we did have to do it 3 times. No, there was like maybe 2 or 3 episodes that we shot 3 times, but we never went past 3. And well, we had rehearsals 2 weeks prior, and they were nailing it there. So
we've talked about how we're all theater actors, and
that helped.
It's true that in theater, when you're on stage, if something goes wrong or whatever, you know how much you can ad-lib, you know what's safe, you know when to just wait for somebody to pick up your line, and that's the performance, and it's ephemeral, and that's the beauty of live theater. But on film, we are all very hyper-aware that this is not theater, and I would have been down to do a 12-hour shoot per 3-minute episode. That's what I wanted. I wanted it always to be my best take.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Season 2. I felt so bad monopolizing your guys' weekend, and I was like, we're just going to get through this. Okay,
No,
great.
almost as much as you want.
Okay, season 2 might take place in Georgia. So.
I think that's true. Every actor wants to give it on one take because usually, or they want what they want on that first take, and then afterwards, sometimes that's when they are really cool with like, or if they feel they nailed it at least. That's good that you guys were theater then for that,
and that's why Kristin was so important too, because we needed to know if we screwed up. And
there was I think this was your idea.
Yes,
the
brilliant
good thing
idea.
about using the webcam was if they messed up a line and I had to feed it to them and they would just stop and say it. Shane came up with a way to splice it together so that we didn't have to go all the way back to the beginning.
Since it's a webcam, I mean, if you've ever watched any streaming video, how like, on Netflix, it'll be HD, and then all of a sudden it'll like drop down to like
well done,
nice, like 16-bit quality, and then loading. So the sound sometimes, and the sound continues, but then it just kind of catches back up, and it's a different image than it was before. So and that's the great thing about film is that you are shooting, you get different little, like the guy who did Birdman. That movie feels like it's just one giant take, but they're finding ways to, and it's manipulating the situation to get it to feed to what you want to do. Right. So
that might be what you were thinking of earlier when you said we didn't need to reshoot scenes very much. I was excited because we came up with this cool way to do these edits if like a line
life-saving way.
Yeah, but then there weren't actually that many because I was kind of keeping track in my script like, all right, we had to stop and go over there, and there weren't as many as I thought there would be, so it's like,
yes, coming from film, it's like, you do like a half a page dialogue and then you stop because that's all you can remember. Or that's the shot of your 6 lines, your half a page, all right, we got it. Like, we're not using that shot anymore for the rest of the page, so that's all we need. We do it 3 times, and then that's it. So it's
going to bring up the story of the last scene we shot, where we did not know we were only going to get 1 take of this scene. And
I did not tell them on purpose.
For continuity purposes, it had to be done in 1 take. And Michelle did not let any of the actors know that. And so, I mean, like, and
God.
It was really
dramatic that that's the only take.
I think so.
It was also the very end of the day, right? And so we were all exhausted. We've been working all day, and there was a lot of intensity in the scene.
It's a very emotional,
it's a very intense scene. And
it's
then
not the last scene of the series.
No, right?
It's the last scene we shot
of that day. Yeah, thank you. And so we were all really, really intense, and then everyone's just assuming we're going to do it again, and Michelle said it was the only one, and I think everybody didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know how to handle it.
Freak me out.
I almost passed out. I was just like, what? No.
I didn't believe
Shut up,
that it
single
was right.
perfect tear.
That was also, though, probably the only scene where sitting back on the steps, I was like, I don't know if we need to do that again. That was perfect.
All right, so any last words on Red Rue before we get
well, I would like to thank the cast and the crew for being awesome and phenomenal. And thank you, Nick, for having us on your show.
Awesome. You guys
this was such a fun opportunity.
Yes,
so thank you.
So much fun. I love having my friends on. We talked about their stuff. This is so much fun.
Yeah. And thank you to anyone who decides to watch it.
Yes, and you can do that at going youtube.com/Red Rue Series.
You remembered!
Facebook.com Red Rue Series. Anything Red Rue Series.
Social media, you'll find us.
Twitter, Instagram.
All one word, no underscores.
And then because Tumblr is a pain, it's redrueseries.tumblr. Right?
I believe so. If you just search
Red
Rue Series on Tumblr, it'll come up.
Do we have a Pinterest? We should have a Pinterest.
I don't.
Anna just volunteered.
Okay, so Anna's going to create a Pinterest. Look for that.
Oh, great. Now I'm committed. All right. I'll do it.
All right. And then anyone else want to plug anything outside of Red Rue? Okay.
So Long Stargazer on Spotify.
Yes.
Follow them around Columbus. They're great.
Yeah, every time I have Nick on, I do the same thing to him.
I always forget to plug my own band, so thank you.
I've got 1 show left for the year. Steel Magnolias is coming up. We're doing 4 performances. It'll be at Mad Lab Theater. It's November The first
two weekends in November.
First 2 weekends in November. Michelle is attached.
Yeah, I'm the production manager, I think.
I like how you say that as a question.
Yeah. I'm doing something with props and making sure actors are where they're supposed to be. Something like that.
Yeah.
You know what? Just as an overall blanket statement, every single person here in this room is somehow involved at Mad Lab Theater. So go to madlab.net, check out the shows there. All of our shows are listed on our website. There are sister companies that perform there regularly. Come support them too. OGP is a sister company that performs not necessarily at Mad Lab, but around town. So there's usually information about them on the site.
And which is, I think, is neat too. Michelle and Anna's photos are kind of spread throughout everywhere on the site because you guys take it's Michelle, but like I didn't know you took photos for Mad Lab, and then last Saturday you were taking Dallas and the other gentleman's headshot.
Carl is our new member.
Anna was able to step in because she was going to be at Mad Lab anyway, and she took my photo for the ensemble.
Yeah, we needed a picture of our photographer, so luckily Anna knows how to do that too.
No, because I saw her because I was sitting up there watching and directing, and you walked by me, and I was like, "Hey," and you're like, kept going, and then I was like, "What is she doing?"
I'm busy.
I thought like, is she going
totally
to do video for tonight for the other show? And then I was like, oh, she's doing photography. I didn't.
Dallas's headshot is up on the site now.
All right.
So.
Ooh, I have one last thing, and I'm sorry to be a ham, but I'm I'm so busy. I have so much stuff.
You're fine.
Because I've started working on it again. My art is featured in.
Yes.
It's part of the set. So,
that's so cool.
Heavenly Kristin Stewart.
Yeah, exactly.
She made us a gay lodge.
A gay lodge.
R.I.P. though, the gay lodge has fallen to the claws and mouths of kittens.
It's where every lesbian would love to be.
Don't be afraid to hit that drum. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for doing this again. Let's look up Red Rue Series. Pretty much it's Red Rue Series as the usernames for almost all social media. But if not, just look it up on Google. You'll find it. And September 18th.
September 18th at 6 o'clock.
And after that, it's
it'll be Wednesday.
So the very next one. Okay. Just want to make sure. So that Monday, then that next Wednesday, you're going to get a brand new episode. So stay tuned. And after that, every Monday, Wednesday. So Red Rue Series, check them out.
Jeez! You're a creep! Go away! We're having a good time until you start up, cheapers! Go have some coffee with cream or something! Because I'll tell you something! This is a happy place!